Everybody, welcome to another edition of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. So happy to have you guys on. Listen, I realize you guys could be listening to anything. You could be watching anything. The fact that you took time out to listen to this podcast, it means a lot to me. On today's show, we have somebody that you guys may be familiar with. We've seen him around. We've seen him do a lot of things. He's been a host, a reality TV personality. He's going to tell you what he's doing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dave Amerman to the show. What's up, man?
Hey, man. What's going on?
Dave, now your Instagram says Dave 12-pack. Can I call you Dave 12-pack?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I still go by that every now and again. Depends on who I'm talking to.
Well, man, listen, I am so glad to have you on the show, man. Thank you for taking the time out, man. Tell us, tell my audience about what you do. If they don't know, you know, this might be their first time. I'm introducing you to them for the first time. Kind of tell them about what you do, who you are, and where we first saw you.
All right, man. Well, we'll take it back a little bit. So I was a Jersey boy, just, you know, hanging out, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid, going to the clubs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And got asked to be on a reality TV show. Didn't really watch much of it, but then I realized it was the spinoff of Flavor of Love. And honestly, I hadn't watched Flavor of Love much, but it wasn't until I was out there in the midst of it and filming I Love New York. I was 12-pack on the show, and, you know, we were 7 million viewers an episode. It was crazy, life-changing.
Yeah.
You know, and I went from there and toured around for years, DJ'd, did all sorts of things, had a great run so far. And here we are, 13, 14 years later. And still doing my thing, still playing around with film and, you know, trying to stay as young as I can.
You still got the 12-pack, brother?
Well, you know, I hurt the shoulder, had surgery. So I'm just now getting back into sit-ups, but I try to eat somewhat clean.
Okay.
It's the winter around here, or at least it's the fall, so it's getting chilly. So you know, no one's swimming. I closed my pool 3 weeks ago, so it'll come back.
Yeah, we got time. I no doubt, man. Once you had it, you can get it back, man. You can get it back. You know, man. And again, like I said, the show, man, it's just uplifting stories, and I think you have a great story, unique story, man. What would you say to a young person that's trying to get into the business, trying to kind of do what you do, man? What was challenging? And you said somebody just walked up and asked you to do it, but what was some of the challenges, man?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, of course it wasn't as easy. I mean, lucky for me, I was right place, right time. I was into filmmaking. You know, I had studied acting in school and, you know, but again, it just was by chance. And a lot of times that's what it's going to be. Most people, you're just a character, you know, you get an audition and you get the part and, you know, you kind of write the rest as you go. And it was interesting because I was familiar a little bit with reality TV because I did an episode of Eliminate, so I got to at least see how like a dating episode would work, and I actually got to pick the girls.
How was that?
It was basically the same thing as I Love New York, but it's, you know, slim it down now to one day, 4 girls. Actually, there was a girl from my high school that was in the crowd on the other side when I did it. So I got to see, you know, and this way the producers, you know, they're talking to me, so I'm the host more or less of the episode for the day, really.
Sure.
So that now when I get to the bigger stage, I Love New York, it's a little different. But even before then, I actually had filmed in one of my film classes. I was into studying reality TV, and I had enough with Eliminate, that I actually filmed like a 23-minute reality episode. I produced it. It wasn't like a big episode. It didn't really go anywhere. And honestly, the stuff we were doing on the episode, I can't even throw it on YouTube. Let's put it that way. I was 22. But I got to do it and do a full episode and produce and also be on both sides of the camera. So on I Love New York, I'm not walking out there like I don't know what I'm getting into. I have a pretty good sense of at least the way the film's going to look and, you know, try to project and just kind of be a character. And again, you know, I'm a senior in college at the time, so you get the alcohol involved. And, you know, I was putting on a show better than I thought I was able to. Even I look back and I'm like, man, I'm watching myself thinking, geez, you know, some of the stuff I did, but it was a big show, and, you know, they're going to play a reunion of it coming up in November.
Really?
For a full day on VH1 again.
Wow.
That'll be the second time this year too. So even 14 years later, I already had a VH1 Where Are They Now? When I was like in my late 20s, you know, so it's like, geez, where am I now, you know?
What's it going to be like for you to watch that?
I've seen it so much, at this point, and I'm in the business of celebrity and, sports memorabilia and kind of
Sure.
still in the pop culture
Sure.
game really for a living, that stuff. So we all kind of, can joke about it. Maybe some of the girls in the office, they'll watch it or something, or they'll be texting each other, you know what I mean? Or they're on social media tagging me in something like,
Yeah, right.
but, hey, I do what I do and I sell sports memorabilia. I love it. I've been doing it forever. I can close some pretty nice deals and we get a lot of business going through our way. So, we can have fun with it. I can do some fun film projects and, try to earn a living as well.
Do you keep in contact with the cast members?
It's funny you say that because Jason Roselle and myself didn't talk for almost 10 years after we kind of went our separate ways after I Love Money.
Okay.
We did I Love Money, the second show, and we were the Party Boys, and we went in there and we were supposed to be this alliance, and he was on like a different team than me originally, entertainer, and I became friends, and almost there was a slight competition. It was weird, the vibe. Right. And after that show, we kind of went our way because we did another show and we did something else.
Sure.
And like 3 years ago, I was in LA. I just sent him a message. Hey, what are you doing? I was there for like 3 days and nothing going on. And he's like, I'm around, come by. Like, just like that. We filmed the podcast on the spot, which I hadn't filmed in years. Wow. And we were just talking the other day, we're going to film for this show that's coming out. We're actually going to do some YouTube episodes where him and I are going to sit there and we're going to watch the episode. We're going to put the episode right in the middle of the screen as well. And the two of us are going to sit there and talk about what we remember doing those episodes. I think it'll be fun. I'm
going to have to tune into that. You got to let me know where to find that. I've got to watch that. Man, yeah. Now, I know you had to persevere, with being, I'm going to call you a pop culture icon, with being part of pop culture. We know how fast and fleeting it can be, and you have to develop some perseverance, to keep it going, and you're very successful at with the sports memorabilia and whatnot. But what was the process of perseverance like for you after the sun had kind of set on those particular reality shows? What was your process of how you persevered?
That's a great question because there was a lot more obstacles than a normal person and someone who's had a normal. I went to D1, I did this, I graduated, I got my job. I went to school and luckily I graduated college.
Sure.
But I left college. I didn't leave. I left senior year to film the shows. I came back before it ever aired and I graduated.
Sure.
And then the show hit literally 4 days after graduation. And from there I was hosting events and earning a living. Right. Just being 12-pack for 3 to 4 years. And then all of a sudden now it's okay. I remember hosting a party with Snooki and it's been 6 months since I filmed the show. We're at a teen club and she's like, 12-pack, you're still doing this? And I'm thinking my show aired 6 months ago. Like granted, I'd been on TV for 3 years at that point, 3 different shows. Right. But it was weird. I was like, wow, 6 months is a long time in the reality TV and TV world.
It is.
Talk about, it's been a lot longer since then, but and now with Hulu and everything, people can relive things like that. But, at that point, I was still the guy who'd been on 3 VH1 shows. If you're a nightclub, I was one of a few you'd probably want to book, so I was still getting work. But at the same time, I knew like, hey, I want to be in finance. I graduated with a finance degree. I want to go work in Manhattan and make hundreds and hundreds of thousands a year. Like this hosting parties is great. If I get my own TV show, awesome. But in the meantime, like here's plan B, which is usually was plan A, if not for, the derailment of reality TV for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back to work, kind of doing my thing. And sure enough, I got Daisy of Love, another show. I was supposed to get my own show. Met my wife before Daisy of Love ever even aired. And we, we had a son within a year of that, he's going to be 11 this year, actually. So, yeah. And then I remember he was born in December. That January, I hosted 9 parties, so you're thinking a little different, but you got to, do what you got to do. This is you. But clearly I had to go, and go the other way. And I was working in finance, had a pretty solid year. She's from Nashville. So we ended up relocating in Nashville. And Nashville's kind of popping right now, but at the time I was like, this is a nice low key, get me out of the area. I don't know a lot of people. I'll kind of, do my thing, do the 9 to 5, but I'll tell you what, after having that kind of exposure and the Speedo and everything, and then going down to a primarily Christian city and trying to go to Liberty Mutual and this place, I mean, they were like, hey, you fit the mold, you got your licenses and everything, but, we kind of Googled you and, we can't, it's not right fit. So it was a struggle, it was a struggle for a brief period of time. And, I kind of was like, hey, listen, I'll get somewhere and I'll just sell and do my thing. And,
You see,
I ended up,
you never think of that on this side that, companies or somebody would say that, you would think they see somebody qualified, he's young, he's ambitious, wife, child, great fit. You don't think about you don't think about that side of it. You had 7 million viewers.
I'm going to sell car insurance. Who's better fit to sell car insurance than someone who can say car insurance, buy now, meet me. Boom. All of a sudden I got 17 meetings. Like it was that easy.
Right. And they said you weren't man. I know that was kind of,
it's frustrating.
it's frustrating and kind of
that's okay
crushing.
Because everything happens for a reason. And I saw my friend. He was used to be partners with me. We owned a memorabilia auction house for a couple of years prior to. Okay, I'm done with the auctions. I'm going to go and finance. There was always the finance, the doctor, the lawyer answer. But it wasn't like, hey, there's other ways besides being a TV star and hitting it just luckily.
Yeah.
So, that business, I didn't see being a multi-million-dollar business. I saw that as I can make some money and I could enjoy selling memorabilia. But when I met with my buddy again, he was working at Rock Nation, a celebrity agent. He was hanging with the athletes, and he's 7 years younger than me. And I was like, hey, he's doing what we always talked about doing. Right. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit the restart button. I literally packed up from Nashville, moved back to New York, went and took a job at Steiner Sports, and I became their auction director in 6 months. Managed Steiner Sports is, we signed Mariano, Jeter, you name it, partners with the Yankees. I was in MSG. I was there for Jeter's final celebration day. It was great. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about the athletes and connections I got. And then Steiner, there was another auction house, Golden Auctions, which I always respected, and they were crushing it, and they're in Jersey. And Steiner was in the process of getting bought out. And I took the position to come down to South Jersey, right outside of Philly, and be the auction director of Golden Auctions. And, we went from doing 30 million in revenue. In our first year, we did over 100 million in revenue since I've been on. Not 100% solely to me, but, the market's great. People are buying memorabilia. We sell $1 million sports cards. We're on TMZ. I'm writing articles for TMZ twice a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I do our press releases and stuff. So.
Yeah, man, and it's awesome, man. And we're gonna talk when we get off there because you and I are neighbors. I'm down in South Jersey too. But
awesome.
The pivot that you made, and I love the story of the pivot, and that's what being unstoppable is all about. So I wrote the book is one door closes, we don't shut it down. We don't cry. We don't quit. I love to hear how you just say, you know what, let me pivot and go another direction. You had the heart, man, to say, look, I'm leaving Nashville. I'm going to head back up Northeast. I got connection up there. And that kind of courage, man, is what our listeners, our viewers need to hear and need to vibe off of, man. And I love that story. I love that you had the courage to make that pivot and to go for it, man.
Yeah, and for me, I had the opportunity to go sell insurance, or I had other offers when I took the Steiner job, and I took it for a lot less. And I took it because it was my passion. But I didn't realize that someone who just collected for fun and really was diehard about memorabilia, when you put me in the room with other guys that are college guys who are in the business professionally but aren't passionate diehard collectors like myself, within weeks people are coming to me asking me questions, and within months I'm sitting in the chair and I'm in the right spot. It was just where I was supposed to be. It's hard for me to even talk memorabilia with most people that I meet because they wouldn't understand. I'm like, oh, this submission, that PSA, it's a whole nother language. But now Steve Aoki's in the bit, he's a collector now. I was talking to him the other day. There's a lot of celebrity. Gary Vaynerchuk's a diehard on memorabilia. I mean, It's a big thing that a lot of billionaires, guys, trust me, I see guys spending millions in our auction and then posting it online. I'm like, I didn't even know I knew that guy. I didn't know he was a collector. You'd be surprised the guy's throwing money around, even the Pokemon cards that are selling for 6 figures.
Wow.
There's all sorts of, the guy, what's his name? He's like a YouTube star, and he I forget his blonde hair kid.
I know you talk about. I can't call his name.
Yeah, he does the boxing stuff.
Yeah.
He literally he's a big Pokemon card collector. So you would never know who's throwing money into these things, but that's the business I'm in, as crazy as it sounds.
So through perseverance, you found your tribe. Through you didn't quit. You didn't throw in the towel. You found you found your tribe, man. You found your people. You found your audience. And that's what I try to tell folks. Say, listen, your audience is out there. Your tribe is out there. The thing that is going to elevate you into success that you really want, and even success beyond your belief, is out there, man. That's awesome, man. Let me ask you this. What would you tell my listeners and my viewers now? How would you encourage them to persevere or to be unstoppable themselves? How would you encourage them, man?
I mean, it's never too late. I'm older than I was yesterday, and I'm a heck of a lot older than I was when I first got into this game of, acting and doing everything. Again, I was in the business of memorabilia 20 years ago.
Wow.
But it's never too late. There are guys that are older than me that start now and doing what they want to do. So, whatever you want to do, you live once. You have one life to live, to go out and get it done. I know I'm sitting back and it seems like, but look at you. If you guys knew where I was 7, 8 years ago, I have 3 kids now. I supported everybody throughout thick and thin.
Wow.
And I'm fortunate enough to have, made some good moves. I went and listened to financial podcasts. How do I get into real estate? How do I invest? How do I make more? How can I be like the other people?
Yeah, you did
the work. To follow that role model as well, and just listen and soak it all in. Don't just close mind anything. Listen to how you can do something, and then take what's best for you and apply that. And I guess that's easy again for me to say, because things are great, and luckily with the pandemic, I'm an internet business. So we've been fortunate enough to be going in the right direction even during this. And it's it's sad to see a lot of businesses going out. I want to get out there and support them, and do things as well. So but just you got to do it. I'm
glad you said that, man. I'm glad you said that. About doing the work. Doing the work. Now I know that, just hearing the journey, at any point, fear always plays a factor. What did you do with that fear when you said, okay, for lack of a better term, I'm punting. I'm punting for a new field position. What did you do with that fear when, okay, I'm leaving this biz, I'm going back to my passion? I know it had to be a little fearful.
Yeah, absolutely. There was times when you're young and, you want to fit that role model, or you want to fit that mold that you're supposed to be in, but financially you don't make the right decisions. You go out and buy the most expensive car and get that payment, go join this gym, get that payment, go rent this, get that payment, get the fancy phones. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of look at that and be smart about it, and, kind of build on that and let it grow. And for me, luckily I analyzed all my, financials and things like that, and realized, okay, you get a few things moving in the other direction for you that can start earning you $100 here, $200 there passively. And all of a sudden now you can afford to take a little more risk, because every month, hey, I only need X, Y, and Z to hit where I need to be.
Sure.
So you can take that risk. Luckily for me, I've got a great family. They supported, 100% in me coming back to where they were at. They wanted me to be there. So I was fortunate enough. People say, if you don't know anyone that can loan you at least, and I'm not saying I borrowed money, I'm just saying, if you don't know someone you can call and you need $10,000 and you need it that day, if you don't have someone or a handful of people like that, then you have to assess your situation in life and say, hey,
you're in the wrong circle.
Exactly. And it's not, circle. I'm not saying go after people that have that, but maybe there's something maybe there's a coincidence there that's not working for you, and you are trying to do something else, with you. So.
Yeah. It goes back to what we hear all the time, about your inner circle. You want to make sure you have the right inner circle. You want to make sure that you are a product of the 5 friends that are closest to you. And so it's up to us to grow and to be more and be able to have those people around us that'll support where we're going, that'll help us that actually moving in the same direction. And that's huge, man. That's huge. So where can we find you, man? Where can my listeners and my viewers find you? How can they connect with you? How can they follow you? How can they support you, man? Lay it out there.
All right. Well, I've been when the pandemic hit, and like I'm saying now, just go out and do it. I decided that I was going to start making YouTube videos. So I started making some on the coronavirus, because what else better is there to film in this crazy pandemic, right? So I started doing them. I started getting some celebrities that I was friends with involved to send me some videos, and we started making little collaborative efforts. And I said, hey, I want to do every month. You know, I got my programs on the computer. I finished editing the play that I did when I was in college that I hadn't even finished editing. I just said, I need to start working on film projects. So I threw my YouTube channel together. My son and I have a little detective show called Gobs and Gizzy.
Okay.
Where we go around and, you know, we just have these little 7-minute missions or something. You know, we're just having fun with it. You know, like I said, I'm going to do some films where me and some of the guys from the shows are going to watch some old episodes. I just want to put something out there every couple weeks or months and just kind of stay active. I love, I edit the films, you know, I do everything. So I love doing that. So, you know, I mean, Dave Amerman is where you could find me. Dave 12 Pack is my Instagram where I'm most active. I'm not really crazy on Facebook anymore. So usually if you find me Dave 12 Pack on Instagram, you know, that's a good way to get a hold of me.
That's how I found you. That's how I found you. I found you Dave 12 Pack on Instagram.
I'm right there, man. Hey, when, you know, maybe when the reunion show's airing, I might have, you know, 50, 75 messages. But right now it's, you know, a couple of hellos each day. You know, it's nothing crazy. I'm in there and just, you know, saying hi to people. If, you know, I mean, as long as they look real.
I have to go to this YouTube channel you have. I'm going to it tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, give it a follow, man, because I always, who knows what I'm going to put out there. I've already reached out to Flex and, you know, Paulie from Daisy Love, some of my guys there. And there was a great episode on one of those shows where the guy, he got his face drawn on. And I think I was part of that. And me and him are going to watch the episode and talk about it. You know, I mean, so it's just going to put some stuff out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to like and subscribe. And all you listeners, go to that YouTube. What's the YouTube channel called again?
Man, it's just under my name, Dave Amerman. It was Dave 12 Pack Amerman. But if you Google Dave Amerman on YouTube, you'll find the channel.
And go like it, subscribe it, hit the notification button so when he puts up a new episode, you guys can see it. Man, I really appreciate you taking out the time to talk to me and talk to us, man. Just really encourage us and tell us about your story, man. It was really encouraging tonight, and I thank you for that, man. You were really approachable, down to earth, man, and that's rock solid, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was fun just actually telling that side of the story because, you know, every time I tell a story, it doesn't always, it's never the same, man. But that was enjoyable, man. We said some stuff I've never said, you know, out there. So that was good.
Well, great. And guys, listen, thank you for listening to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, Spotify. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to what you see on YouTube. You can follow me everywhere, guys. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, my website, ralph@ralphgravesjr.com. And I'll see you guys again next time. God bless you.